Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was born in Germany on the 14th of March 1879. Einstein's parents were both Jewish and he had a younger sister called Maja. Although he apparently didn't like school, Einstein showed he had a great mind for maths and science from a young age. Albert Einstein had personal struggles too. When his grandmother first saw him, she called him thick, which means not very smart. Einstein didn't talk until he was 4 years old, and he liked to repeat words and sentences over and over until he was about 7. When he was just 5 years old, his father bought him a compass. His inquiring mind immediately started trying to work out just why the needle always pointed north. Some researchers think he had a form of autism. Albert Einstein didn't learn to read until he was 9. Although he loved learning, he didn't like school. Hermann Einstein relocated the family to Milan, Italy, in the mid-1890s after his business lost out on a major contract. Albert was left at a relative's boarding house in Munich to complete his schooling at the Luitpold Gymnasium. Faced with military duty when he turned of age, Albert allegedly withdrew from classes, using a doctor's note to excuse himself and claim nervous exhaustion. With their son rejoining them in Italy, his parents understood Einstein's perspective but were concerned about his future prospects as a school dropout and draft dodger. Einstein was eventually able to gain admission into the Swiss Federal Polytechnic School in Zurich, specifically due to his superb mathematics and physics scores on the entrance exam. He was still required to complete his pre-university education first, and thus attended a high school in Aarau, Switzerland helmed by Jost Winteler. Einstein lived with the schoolmaster's family and fell in love with Winteler's daughter, Marie. Einstein later renounced his German citizenship and became a Swiss citizen at the dawn of the new century. Einstein eventually found steady work in 1902 after receiving a referral for a clerk position in a Swiss patent office. While working at the patent office, Einstein had the time to further explore ideas that had taken hold during his studies at Polytechnic and thus cemented his theorems on what would be known as the principle of relativity. In 1905, seen by many as a miracle year for the theorist, Einstein had 4 papers published in the Annalen der Physik, one of the best-known physics journals of the era. 2 focused on photoelectric effect and Brownian motion. The 2 others, which outline E equals mc2 and the special theory of relativity, were defining for Einstein's career in the course of the study of physics. Einstein married twice and had 3 children. His first wife was Mileva Morik, one of his classmates, but they later divorced and Einstein then married his cousin Elsa Lowenthal. Einstein was a huge lover of music and he was an excellent violinist. He apparently once said, "A table, a chair, a bowl of fruit and a violin. What else does a man need to be happy?" After Einstein graduated from the prestigious Polytechnic Academy in the Swiss city of Zurich in 1900 with a degree in maths and physics, he tried to find a teaching job, but couldn't get work. Einstein thought the way people understood gravity was wrong and he worked on a new theory to prove it. He was later able to test he was right with the solar eclipse. Soon Einstein became a very famous name. After publishing his theory of relativity and correctly predicting the effects of a solar eclipse, Albert enjoyed worldwide fame. With such an amazing mind, it's hardly surprising that Einstein became a world-famous scientist. In 1914 he was appointed director of a new research institute in Berlin. In 1933 Einstein moved to America. This was because it was very difficult to be a Jewish man living in Germany, as Hitler and the Nazi Party were very much against Jewish people. He accepted a position at the Institute of Advanced Study in Princeton and took United States citizenship. World War II ended in 1945 and Einstein continued to make further discoveries about heat, gravity and relativity. He published over 300 scientific reports. In August 1948, Einstein's first wife, Mileva Marik, died in Zurich. He himself had to undergo abdominal surgery in the same year. In March 1950, he declared his will, making his secretary Helen Duckus and Dr. Otto Nathan jointly to his executors. On April 15, 1955, Einstein was transported to hospital in Princeton because he had severe pain. The diagnosis was a ruptured aneurysm of his abdominal aorta. As a consequence of this illness, Albert Einstein died at the age of 76 on April 18, 1955. Following his wish, his remains were cremated the same day and the ashes were about 2 weeks later put down at an unknown place. Science had lost one of his foremost thinkers and the world had lost a fighter for peace and freedom. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe and please click the bell button.